Hello everyone, I'm once again flying solo. Just me. The Ginge is still out of country. I'm here today to talk about some news. Now, until last night, the MMA news scene, had been pretty dire. I was going to talk about the boxing. I still am. I'm still going to talk about the boxing. Okay, we know the fights that went down on Saturday. It was Masvidal and Diaz card. I'm going to cover those as well. But last night we got an exciting new main event announced, so I'm also going to be talking about that. Now, we will start off with the boxing. Let's get it out of the way, because it was a bit horrendous. I want to talk about Darren Till's comeback fight. So he was fighting a guy called Mo Muti, right? Now, little Mo Muti was, they were both didn't look very good, if we're being honest with ourselves. Darren Till didn't actually throw anything in the first round, really, maybe a few jabs. But to be honest, that's kind of just what he does in his UFC fights. Mo Muti threw a few overhands to the body, and then got basically tickled in the back of the head, and then fell over and died. And then there was a little post-fight brawl, and Darren Till still managed to get taken down. He got single-legged by Mo Muti. It was just embarrassing. Masvidal versus Diaz. It seems like they weren't scoring for power punches, which was interesting. It just seemed like Diaz was just throwing his normal pillow punches, and they were getting scored as really significant strikes. I don't understand boxing. I don't really care. I'm not a boxing guy. I watching the fight, I would say it was a draw. I would. I think first half of the fight was probably Masvidal's, and then second half Diaz started to take over. But ultimately, it was a pretty cool fight, to be fair to the oldies, and also Diaz's fat. Okay, so now we will be talking. We're going to be getting into the meat and potatoes here, the exciting stuff. My camera's on low battery, so hopefully it doesn't die. That would be really fucking annoying. So Jiri Prochazka is talking about a potential move to 185 pounds. Now this could be really cool. When he first started talking about this a few months ago, I believe, I didn't think it was a good idea. He was talking about how he didn't cut any weight for his fight at UFC 300 so he could make 185. I didn't like the sound of it then. I like the sound of it now. It could definitely make or break his career, but I think there's more at middleweight for him potentially than there is now at light heavyweight, with Alex Pereira still at the top of the division and, in my opinion, probably staying there. I think career-wise, it could actually be a great idea for Jiri to move down to 185. There's a lot of exciting matchups down there for him. I don't know what they'd do with him straight off the bat. They could give him an Imavov, Whitaker, something like that. He'd obviously be getting a top opponent for his first fight. Maybe, top 5, I reckon, so probably like an Imavov. But either way, I think those matchups are exciting. Like Jiri Prochazka versus a Strickland. There's so many weird matchups for him. I'd like to see Jiri versus anyone. Personally, he's got such a strange style. It's very exciting. I just think there's a lot they could do with him. At 185, there's not as much that they could do with him at light heavyweight. If he stays at light heavyweight, what do they do with him? Do they give him Hill? Do they give him Khalil Roundtree? Do they give him Nikita Krylov? Do you know what I mean? I'm just not as interested. Say they match him up with Hill. What happens next? The winner fights Pereira. Come on. I don't like people who say things like that after a year you'll lose. I'll be like, oh, Jiri versus Hill next. That's stupid. That's a stupid idea, because it's a framework for keeping all the same guys at the top of the division. No, it should be Jiri versus Khalil Roundtree or something. But people love just to, be stupid. It's not going to be fucking Jiri versus Hill. Stupid idea. Anyway, now that was all I was going to talk about until last night. Last night we got some very exciting news for a Paris card on September 28th, I believe. Yeah. The main event of the evening is Benoit Saint Denis versus Renato Moicano. Right. I like this fight. I think I I'm not feeling too confident for Moicano. I'm not going to give a prediction. Well, maybe I will. But I don't know how this fight's going to go down. I really don't. Obviously, Moicano can't afford to lose. We know that. We've established that. But it's a scary fight. It is a scary fight for Moicano. I don't know if there's much he can actually do to Benoit. He could maybe sub him, but I feel like Benoit's going to chin him. You know what I mean? I feel like he might chin him. I think this is a bit of a cruel matchup for Renato and Moicano. I think they should have given him like a Dariush. Or, yeah, probably a Dariush, to be honest. But they haven't. They've given him BSD in the main event. I hope Moicano wins. I'm biased. I do hope Moicano wins. Saint Denis is a beast, though. He's a beast. He's just coming off getting chinned by Poirier, but he did have staph infection in that fight, and he looked great in the first round. I just have an unshakable feeling that Benoit might chin him, and I don't like that because I like Moicano. Hopefully Moicano pulls this off, cuts a fat promo on the mic, and then we can get him a top-ranked opponent. If Benoit, no, not if Benoit, if Moicano wins this, they need to look at getting him to the top of our division. Really start getting him like some big matchups, which I think they should have been doing anyway, but Benoit is a bit, like he's got a bit of Dana White privilege, constantly just trying to make him, you know, big fights. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a in my head the fight doesn't make worlds of sense, but it's still a cool main event. I still like it. Looking forward to seeing how they build out that Paris card. Surprised Cyril Gane isn't on it. They're always putting Cyril Gane on these Paris fight nights to beat up a fatty and then get a title shot, but he's not going to be on it. So is Cyril Gane ever going to fight again at this rate? He's busy filming movies with Netflix. Is he? What is he up to? That is what I want to know. And will he get a title shot on his return? Probably. He'll be fighting for an interim. Anywho, that is actually me for today. A nice short one. Nice little 7-minute video. I'll be back on Thursday for a prediction video. Nami Yunez versus Tracy Cortez. I can't wait to research those fights. I love that card. I love it. And I love the card the week after even more. Right. Hope it's been good. Getting used to flying solo. I've got no one to bounce off of, so it's just more. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And let me know down in the comments if you've made it this far. Who should Jiri fight when he moves down to 185? Something I've been thinking about a lot. What are some cool matchups that he could have at 185? I want to know. Thank you.